Well, I was waiting for it, and it's finally arrived. Things have started to fall apart. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to the Liberty Stadium in Swansea. And if you are a first-time visitor, why not? Subscribe, like, watch and comment. Help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause you can see scrolling above. And I've been waiting for it, and things have taken a very big turn for the worst. And I can only suspect it's mistakes and tiredness that have led to this poor run of form which you can see. You saw us beat Stoke in the FA Cup last time, and then it was away at Tottenham, and we held out for 67 minutes before Zaha burst into the box and put Tottenham 1-0 ahead. It was a bit of a disappointment. We were doing so well up to that point, but the boys never gave up, and Downs fed it to Walsh, and Pirro was fed in, and wow, he scored for the first time in a long time, and it was great to see him getting on the score sheet, and I thought he was going to be back to his best, but alas, that didn't happen. We followed that with a game against Wolves, a game I was hoping that we would get much more out of it than we did, but Wolves were a better team on the day, and I didn't take them seriously. I've been playing a lot more positive, and I should have taken Wolves a lot more seriously than I did, but Wolves went 2-0 up on 30 minutes, and there was to be no coming back from that. And even though after a couple of tweaks we started to dominate the game, and Toure on 40 minutes pulled one back, which led me to be a little bit more optimistic. The game petered out and we finally lost that by 2-1. The bad run of form had begun. We were desperately holding on, trying to motivate the team when we went away to Fulham, and Toure, showing how desperately tired he is, gifted Fulham a goal, and that is clearly an indication that they are just a tiring team. But Fulham had a man sent off in the 60th minute, and we went very attacking after that. We had to try and get something back out of this game, and it did eventually arrive, and we fully deserved it at the end to get a point as Lavery burst through and he made it 1-1. Try as we may in the last 5 or 6 minutes of time, we couldn't add to that, and again that finished as a 1-1 draw. Better than losing, but certainly not the results we were looking for during this phase of fixtures. Against Leicester we got off to a pretty decent start, and Matt Grimes put one into the back of the net on 19 minutes, and I thought maybe we were going to turn things around here, but Leicester gave as good as they got. Leicester struggling, and eventually Iheanacho found space in the box, and that turned out to be a 1-1 draw as well. Realising that this was a very tired team, I decided to rotate completely. I put my reserves out against West Ham. I really am not worried at all about the FA Cup, and we did very well, to be fair. The reserves put up a very brave fight. We were never in danger of winning it, but we lost the game by 3-2 away at West Ham in the end, and I was very proud of that effort, not too bothered about going out of the FA Cup. And then Aston Villa, with a fresh first team, I thought perhaps we will put on a better show, but we didn't. And Aston Villa took the lead on 50 minutes, and we've got another uphill task. And luckily, though, this does seem to be a very determined bunch of boys. They don't collapse. They listen to instructions, and Delap pulled one back in the 78th minute, and that was another 1-1 draw. And we have drawn far too many matches of late, really struggling against teams we should be doing a lot better against. But in terms of the club vision, this is partly my fault. Seeing that the club are disappointed in terms of our attacking football, I decided to try and play more positive. It hasn't paid off, and so we are going to go back to playing a much more defensive version. My job is to get them to survive and do as well as we can. And against Leeds, that's what we are going to do. We are going to go back to a more defensive style, give them the respect they deserve. But we have squad problems, and we have many players who are out of form, and I can only assume that this is down to tiredness, and next season they will have to do a lot more endurance work. And one such example is probably one of my best players, is Oliver Neacham, whose form is absolutely diabolical at the moment, and I think he's going to need to be rested for 2 or 3 games, maybe a little bit more. Because his form is just not warranting at the moment a place in the team. Gustavo Scarpa, who is back up to his position, he is starting to look like he's coming into a little bit of form, and I think it's time to give him some starts now to see what he can do and to deputise and do his job, deputising for Neacham, and try and find out what he can do. Joel Pirro has been a bitter disappointment. If he is one of my best players, then I am really shocked at what's gone on this season for him. It is my plan to sell him at the end of the season. His form is absolutely ridiculously bad, and it is, although his average rating is still 7.05, if we look at what he's been doing, it's absolutely dreadful. And Shane Lavery, though, has come into a little bit of form in his last 5 games. He's got an average rating of 7.1. He's come in as a squad player, and it's about time he got his chance. He's not setting the world alight, but he's scored 4 goals in the last 6 games, and it's about time he got his chance to see what he can do. Guillan was a mistake. He's going back as soon as possible. His form has been absolutely dreadful, and we did give him a try, and he got a 6.2 in the game we gave him a try. Previous to that, 6.3, 6.3. He's not ready for Premier League football at all. Has not delivered at all. And so we have this game coming up against Leeds now. We've gone back to our defensive style of playing. We're going to try and close the shop and see if we can get something a little bit more than a draw out of this game. You've got Fisher, Kraft comes in, Williams, House and Manning. Ahulu comes in for a rare game. Grimes, Scarpa and Magyar make up the midfield, with Pirro and Delap up front. We're going to give Pirro one last shot against the Leeds to see if he can recover his form. And so as we go into the game, we're just going to tell them we've got nothing to lose here. Go out there, do your best. And unfortunately, I have left it on 2D. I usually play extended highlights against teams like this. We're in 2D. So I think we better switch that around for you. You don't want to see the extended highlights. And we'll put it back on key highlights and into television. And it is Swansea who get the game underway. And here is Scarpa on the ball immediately. He feeds Grimes. Grimes and Pirro was taken out there. Come on, referee. And that was a dreadful, shocking tackle, and he gets away with just a yellow card. I'd have given him a red, but then that's me. And nothing came of that, alas. But we are still sitting, despite all the problems that we've had, we are still sitting in 6th in the Premier League. And I do find this with FM. If you go on a bad run, then the teams around you also go on a bad run. So all is not lost at the end of the day. As Grimes looks for Pirro. Pirro to Magyar. Magyar finds Aholu. Aholu, I'm starting to learn how to say his name now. He finds House. House finds Manning. This is nice football. This is what we want to do. It's possession is king in this. And we are holding on to the ball. And that's a ball over the top. But unfortunately, that's cleared up by the Leeds defence. But we've won it back. And here's Scarpa. Scarpa finds Pirro. Pirro with a shot. and that goes way over the bar. And that is Pirro, and that's why I think he has no future for Swansea. He's not going to take us to the dizzy heights of European football, and so he's out of the door, and he has got a transfer value of around £18 million, and I think that we could do a lot better with that £18 million than Pirro. And so in the second half, we're going to pick it up a little bit and see if we can get something out of this game. We are creating chances. We're going to make some adjustments to their opposition instructions and see if that makes a difference. They have made a substitution, and he's a very dangerous forward, so we want to take him out of the game. But we do have opportunities in this game, and here's Delap, go on, son. Run at the pitch. Delap, who we are going to extend his loan agreement if possible, and because he's had a very, very good season, I think, and next year maybe he'll get even better. Our passing isn't working as I would like it to, but we are still holding our own. Never forget that Leeds are a very, very good team. They are sitting in 5th in the Premier League, and we're doing very, very well to hold them here away. And here is a chance for Leeds, and that has whistled over the bar, and we do need to be very, very careful. But at 76 minutes, it's still Leeds 0, Swansea 0. In normal circumstances, a point away at Leeds would be a very, very good point, and I would take that. But because of the form we're in, I was hoping that perhaps we could have stolen this match and not become something of a draw specialist team. But we are defending once again very, very well, and that is the basis. That is why we are in 6th, because we are so difficult for teams to break down, and our midfield, it makes it very, very difficult for teams to work their way through us. But here's House back to Fisher with a long punt upfield, but we don't contest that. But that's intercepted by Lavery finds Delap, come on boys, Neacham to Lavery, can he find someone in space? That's all the way back to Aholu to Neacham. This is better. And there is a ball from Scarpa to Neacham. Can he get it into the box? And Lavery, who's come on as a substitute for Pirro, has made it Leeds 0, Swansea 1. It was time to give Lavery his chance, I think, and he will be starting a lot more now. What a lovely ball from Scarpa to Neacham. And Neacham looks inside for Lavery, who's in space in the box, and he finds the corner of the net. It's Leeds 0, Swansea 1, and that should leapfrog us above Swansea, and this will be possibly the best result of the season if we can hold on to this. And we are still putting pressure on Leeds as Williams finds Scarpa, but he's easily dispossessed, but finds space again and wins it back. Lavery has it now. He finds Scarpa into Lavery. Lavery has scored! And that makes it Leeds 0, Swansea 2. This has been the performance of the season. This may be what makes the difference now. And this defensive tactic has worked again. Going back to the original idea and forgetting what the board says. And this has made the difference. It's about being solid and about being patient and about not doing things just because the board want them to. We need to survive, and we need to be strong at the back, and that's what's happening. We're going to close this game out now, and this will be a fabulous victory. A 2-0 away victory at Leeds. I couldn't have hoped for anything better than that. Lavery, superstar. It is about time he gets his chance. And just tell him that that was an amazing, inspiring victory. And we have stopped the rot at this point. And hopefully now we can go on and build from that. We are sitting in 5th in the Premier League now. We've jumped ahead of Leeds. And I am a very, very happy manager. It's proved to the board that what we're doing works. What we tried to do to satisfy you didn't work. And let's hope we're back on track now. And let's have a look at the schedule and see where we go from here. Well, we do know that this is a very tough part of the season. We have Bristol City, which we should win, and then Everton, Chelsea, West Ham, Manchester United, Liverpool. And they are all very, very difficult fixtures. I think I will come back for the Brentford game where it's all quietened down and there'll be 4 games left to play. And we'll see where we are at that point and whether we are still competing for the Euro places. I very much doubt it, but I'll be happy, having been predicted to finish in 19th at the beginning of the season. I'll be happy with 10th or 11th, and it will show that we are a team to be reckoned with. They do need to do more fitness, endurance work next season, but we'll deal with that next year. Now we just need to finish as high as we possibly can. And that's it for this video. Don't forget, if you're new here, subscribe, watch, like and comment, and help us to support this very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling above. And we will do everything we can to support them. All we need is for you to subscribe and keep liking and commenting. And all that remains to be said now is maybe we are back on course and we will see you for the Brentford game.